Hey guys, so welcome to week 3 of your remote learning. So this week is going to be pretty much assessing what you've reviewed so far for units 1 and 2 of the time frame of 1200 to 1450. So that means that you're going to be doing pretty much 2 LEQs this week. I know it's definitely not your favorite thing to do. I totally understand that. But remember, like I had told you in one of the previous videos, that you are going to still have to take the AP World History exam. They did not cancel it. So more than likely, it's going to be a open-ended question. So it'll probably be something like, I'm assuming, an LEQ, because that takes 40 minutes. And so it's kind of important that we just practice it. So before we get started, I wanted to cover one of the things that I've seen you guys really have a hard time with, and that is contextualization. So I'm going to show you kind of this other way to present contextualization to you called the 2C's. So the 2C's are pretty much represented by 2 circles. So you have the inner C, which would be considered the little c, and that's really your topic, okay, or whatever the prompt is asking you. All right, and then you have the large C, and that's really the events or the issues that are really affecting the prompt, okay, or whatever other things might come up. But this is really what the contextualization piece is. So I want to show you this kind of in action with something relevant. So let's go ahead and use this example. So for this example, we're going to use the shelter in place or the stay-at-home order for El Paso. So for example, the stay-at-home order would be the little c, because that's the main topic. All right, so that would be the little c, and then the big C would be the things that have influenced the stay-at-home order. Like, why do we have a stay-at-home order? So obviously we have one because of the coronavirus. All right, another reason we have the stay-at-home order is because people didn't follow the first order. And another reason is obviously to stop the spread of the virus. So all of these things influence the stay-at-home order. Okay, so all of them play a role as to why we now have a stricter stay-at-home order. So everything you see on the outer circle, that is my contextualization. That is the reason why we have that stay-at-home order. So if I were to, write this as a contextualization piece, I would probably make each one of these points a sentence. All right? And so just kind of keep that in mind. That's the way contextualization works. So you have like the main topic in the center, and then around it are all those issues that influence the main topic. Okay, so now that we have the contextualization idea out there, let's go ahead and look at the rubric again. So remember, when you write this thesis, or when you write this essay, you're going to need 4 things. The first, obviously, is your thesis. Okay, so obviously that's going to be whatever the prompt is asking you to talk about. All right, and remember, in your thesis, you need to have at least 3 reasons. And for an LEQ, you need to really think of that 2-to-1 ratio. Okay. So think of that 2-to-1 ratio. All right, so if it's asking you to compare something, remember that's always a compare and contrast. So you're going to be 2 comparisons and 1 contrast, or 2 differences and 1 similarity. and then and your thesis part. And then of course remember you need the contextualization piece. So that would be like that big C that we just talked about. And then, of course, you're going to need evidence. So, again, it says provide evidence, specific examples of evidence relevant to the topic. So, if you just name key things, key words, you're going to get points that way. All right. The way that you earn the other points, the 2 points that you see right here, is that you need to tell me how it supports your argument. Okay. So, this is just examples. All right, and you should have about at least 2 to 3 specific examples. And then this right here is supports the argument. So this is your explanation of each example. Okay? And then the last piece that you need is your analysis and reasoning piece. So this is you telling me why this is important. So why is your evidence important? How does it connect to the larger picture? All right, so again, just keep this in mind. If you can earn A, B, and C, if you can do A, B, and C, that's already 4 points there. That's already a passing score. If you can even do, A, B, and C, and just earn each 1 point there, again, that's also a really good score to get a 3 as well. So kind of just keep that in mind when you practice the LEQ. So now that we have looked over the rubric, again, keep in mind how you're going to write this paper. So your first paragraph should be obviously your intro. All right, and then remember in your intro, you're going to state your context, which is that big C. Okay, and then you're also going to tell me your thesis. And again, remember 3 reasons. And again, use that 2 to 1 ratio. So then after that, you're going to go into your first body paragraph, which will be your first reasons. First reasons from thesis statement. Okay. So I would say if you're going to talk about like 2 comparisons, then keep those together. All right. And then talk about them. So you'll give me part A, example, or example 1. And then you'll explain the example. Example 1 explained. And then you'll move into example example number 2. And do the same thing, explain example number 2. All right, and then you're going to move on to the next paragraph, which would be the opposing reason. All right, so which is going to be I guess we could say the second reason / opposing. And then you're just going to repeat the same process. You're going to do the same thing that you see in the first one. Give me that specific example and then, of course, explain it. And then lastly, you'll just provide reasoning. So why is this important? Why is it important? And that's pretty much the basic essay. Okay, so again, remember the essay shouldn't be super long. Like it should really just be maybe a page and a half. Okay, but definitely make sure that you are addressing the prompts. Other than that, that's pretty much all we're covering this week. So when you see the LEQs, they're going to be on AP College Board. There's no time limit on them. I didn't put a time limit. I really want you to focus on the process itself. Okay. And of course, use whatever resources you have available to you um, to get the essay done and completed in the correct manner. So, good luck on that. Have a safe week. Be careful. Practice your social distancing. And I hopefully will see you guys as soon as we can.